What's up folks, it's Fuzzy here. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. It's Tuesday, which means we've got another squad building video for you. And today, as you can see, we're going with a 300k team. This is one that does include 2 SBC players, but they're there for quite some time and they're very cheap to obtain, so they're easily accessible. The squad currently comes in at just over 300k. It's 308k, but obviously there are savings you can make if you really need to script to 300, but in most cases people just round these up. So this is going to be a hybrid team. It features 2 different leagues. 2 leagues I really like in FIFA. I liked them last year and I really liked it this year as well. And I'll say 2 are SBCs and they all get full chemistry. So enjoy the video, leave a like rating on it and hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. But let's jump into the 300k FIFA squad builder. And first things first is I'm going to change the formation to the 4-3-3-4, the fourth variant with the cam, because that's what we'll need to get people onto full chemistry. Now I'm going to kick things off with the right wing. And this is the Serie A. So this is league number 1 is the Serie A. Now, this is Icone. On the market, he's 20k. He was cheaper. What did I pick him up for? I picked him up for 16k. So he slowly started to rise. Some people picked him up at 13, which is a fantastic investment. Obviously, he's a right midfielder, but he can play right wing as well. So obviously, you have to do, all to do is position change him, and he'll get onto full chemistry. But like, for what is now 20k, considering the lack of right wings in this game, and he is explosive, but that's still withable on next generation, and on old gen, you're absolutely laughing, so no problems there. He has outside of the foot shot rate and flair. His pace is already great. That dribbling with the agility and balance and everything else being well rounded is sweet. 70 stamina means he can last most of the game. If you play a pressing, you will have to sub him off. The passing's well rounded for an 83 rated card, and then the shooting you need to boost with the Deadeye. But he can get 2 upgrades, one of which is a Fiorentina win their 2 of their last 3 games, and they've already beaten Hearts 5-1 in that first game. So he's already 1 for 2 in that, and the other one is an upgrade if they go through. So at the minute, they're second in the group with 7 points, first has 10, and third has 3 points. They have to play Istanbul Basaksehir and then RFS, who I don't even know who that is. They should pick up that win against RFS and possibly lose to Istanbul, but that'll get them through the group and he'll get both upgrades. So there's a high chance that in a few weeks, this guy's going to actually be upgraded. Basically, providing he gets that upgrade, you've got your right mid sorted for, I'd say, at least a month or so, maybe 2 months. He will basically last you until the Christmas promo starts when you go a bit mad in January. On the cheaper side of things, we're going to look at the left back next, which is going to be Spinazzola. He's literally only 1,300 coins, so he is a cheap and cheerful left back. Obviously starts the left wing back. You will need to use a position change for him, but fullbacks, you want to avoid overspending, and I'll be a little bit of a hypocrite when you see who the right back is, but I want to try and avoid overspending if possible. Obviously there's some lack of options at times and you need to go further, and you also can't play left midfield, but the 4-star player, right footed, which last year wasn't a worry for me. I wouldn't worry too much about that, just be aware of it when you're playing in game. 6'1", so he's got the presence. It's like the pace is great, everything else is just well rounded, but it's really the pace that saves this card. He's absolutely rapid in game and he's controlled regardless what you put on him, so he's just a nice well rounded left back. 1,300 coins, fits in and gets his chemistry, which is dead nice. I'm going to have to use a ton console player because I don't have him in the club, but Tonali is going to be our main defensive midfielder in this, and he's 3,600 coins in the market. So players like this have come down in price. I love how the first 3 players I put in all need position, but regardless of that, Icone comes out of packs as a right wing, so you can literally buy a right wing version of the market as a heads up. Tonali for under 4k coins fits the bill for what you need in a DM right now, man. He can also play centre mid, obviously because we can change. Medium high, so that's the ideal work rate. 3-star, 4-star, really sweet for a central defensive midfielder. This is already great. The passing for a DM is well rounded. Dribbling again well rounded. Essentially everything for a DM card at the minute in the game is just well rounded. And then depending on what path you want to go, and this card also depends if you're playing next gen or old gen. If you put an architect chem style on him, he will become lengthy. Everything else he's controlled. So if you're on next gen, putting an architect on him and getting the physicality up and the passing up and then getting him on lengthy makes sense. If you're an old gen, put a shadow or an anchor on him, but for under 4k you're getting an absolute bargain of a player, which obviously helps us with links. Our first centre back is going to be a promo card, and it's going to be Bonucci, who at the minute he's 43k on the market, but honestly I've only had his loan, but I used him in a couple of games and I've also used him in a draft, and he just fits the bill really well for the current meta. He's lengthy regardless what you do. Like, he is just lengthy whatever you do. So basically, if you put an anchor or a shadow on him, with how good his strength, aggression, and jumping is already, I'd put a shadow on him to max the pace as much as possible. You throw a shadow on him, he's 6'3", medium high, ideal work rate, 4-star weak foot, so he's comfortable playing the ball. 72 passing with 74 vision 85 for the short pass and long pass, so he is a ball playing centre back, and I was 4-star weak foot helps with that. His dribbling for a centre back at this point in the game is nicely well rounded. He's just a great card. I mean, you can look and say, oh, maybe there's some cheaper gold cards, but his performance in game, I think, pairs really nicely and will last, is the main thing here. So maybe look at some of these gold cards in this team and be, well, I'd like to upgrade those. Well, here's the thing. Players like Bonucci can be in your team longer term, and you can work on the upgrades on the likes of that Spinazzola, maybe to a Theo Hernandez. And we'll get onto the SBC players now, because it's kind of self-explanatory once you see who the first one is. First of all, we're going to go and spend 18,900 coins on this SBC centre back, and it's push. And I have an anchor on him, and it's literally an 83 unit squad with an inform. And he can play centre back or right back starting squad. He's 2-star, 3-star, so kind of basic for centre back, but is medium. And essentially, you want to put an anchor in this guy and just use him as a bully centre back. His vision's poor, but his actual short pass and long pass is decent. So if you know where you're playing your ball, you'll be fine. Again, dribbling overall for a centre back at this point in the game is pretty well rounded. But basically, he's good in game. Paired with Bonucci is going to be sweet as well. The main reason for you getting him is because of the strong link that's going to help us get onto Arnautovic, who is pretty much the exact same price. He's 18,800 coins on the solutions that are coming through, and this man's lengthy, and you can put a hunter on him and keep him lengthy. He's flare outside foot shot trait, 4-star, medium low, maybe a little bit of complete, but I know if you're on old generation, you might look at this and say it's not quite as ideal, but you will still get performance with this card with a hunter. It's obviously beneficial on next generation with the accelerated styles and everything like that, but 6'4", medium low, 4-star. The agility and balance is a little bit heavy, but I say with how the game plays at the minute, he'll be absolutely fine. Passing is in a good position for a striker. The physicals are good. He can head, and the shooting and the pace, it's just nice. You put a hunter on him. For the price, the combo for them to get a strong link is you should be completing these SBCs for 83 rated squads with inform. It's an absolute no-brainer. They're under 20k and they offer you quite a lot, especially with icon swaps when you have first owners, and obviously you can use it in team like this. All right, I'm going to go start with the goalkeeper for the Ligue 1 side of things, which is where the next part of this hybrid comes in. And Donnarumma, the version I recommend you use is the gold version, who is 28,000 coins on the market. I've got his red pick, so I've just put that into the team. They make it look a bit prettier than another untradeable, than another concept card, but you're going to see, it'll be quite obvious the next two players. He's going to build chemistry and help us get full chemistry, and he's, for me, the best keeper in FIFA at the minute. I think he's really overpowered. He's got rushes out of goals and comes for crosses. He's literally just missing saves with feet, but he's 6'5", with a 3-star weak foot, and kicking's good. He can actually pass the ball a little bit, and he's just a bit of a beast in game. With that, you're going to go and pick up Hakimi, who is, as I said, he's 44,000 coins in the market. And yeah, I just said you should save money on your fullbacks when picking up Spinazzola, but I'm going to tell you to go pick up Hakimi for 40k. On average, I mean, per fullback, if you've average, you're playing 22k, which isn't too bad in the grand scheme of things for squad building. And Hakimi is just one of those guys where he's good in the game with the current meta, and he will be. It's just very similar to last year. His gold card was good. Any promo card he got was good. His team of the year was great for the whole game cycle. He just performs well in game, and obviously has beneficial links to the Donnarumma, to another player you're going to see. Once you go down the line, you can link him to Neymar, to Mbappe. Like, he just has good links, and that's why he's more expensive, as well as the fact that he's impactful in game. Play right mid and right wing back for you, and he's just a really well-rounded player. The thing here would be, although Spinazzola's physical is last, I would be using Spinazzola as my more reserved fullback, and Hakimi is the guy that you want to get forward with, and he's just got trades for it, man. I would prefer not to spend 44k if I could. Maybe 30k would be a sweet spot for him, but it's worth it to get the links. And the links that we're discussing is you're going to go spend 14,500 coins on an 80 rated centre midfielder because he's broken, and it's Renato Sanchez. Probably could have seen this one coming, but I think him paired with Tonali in the midfield is a really nice setup. Tonali, I think if you make him lengthy, you've got this really nice defensive midfielder who's strong and can pass and is quick anyway. That base pace is good. Then with Renato, you just got this amazing controlled high 4-star central midfielder who can do a bit of it all. Yes, his price is probably a little bit more than it should be given the fact he's eating it, but that sort of is a testament to how good he is in game. I definitely think you want to boost the passing for your central midfielder. Some people, if you're on next gen, will still put an architect on him because that makes him lengthy and it gets the passing and the physical up. But you can kind of do whatever you fancy with him. Just make sure he's in the squad, as that just sets a really nice combo. The left wing's probably the suggestion where I'm going to get some comments about I don't know what I'm talking about. But hear me out. you're going to go spend 18,000 coins and pick up the Road to the Knockout Terrier. But he is 3-star, 3-star. But what you have to understand, players like Haaland are 3-star, 3-star, and are very good this year. This whole weak foot skill moves, like the whole weak foot skill moves, hyperization, isn't like, it matters, but it's not as key, especially when you're working on a budget. I know 300k is by no means a cheap team, but by this point in the game, if you've been playing since day one, it's a reasonable team to obtain, especially if you have some of these guys first run, stuff like that. Terrier is likely to get an upgrade, can be played striker, which the reason why I like him is because it means you can play a 4-3-3 with the system, or 4-3-2-1. But you could also go play a Narrow system, use a Nartovic and Terrier as the strikers, and then use a Kone as a cam. Like that kind of thing. It gives you a bit of versatility. So he's 3-star, 3-star, but the base pace is great. That shooting is really well rounded for an 85 rated card. He has the finesse shot trait, which is cool. The physicals are decent, not great. Dribbling, well-rounded, passing for a striker or wide man at this point of the game is alright, but not ideal. This is one of the issues where, because we're at the start of the game, we've had a couple of promos, but we're still sort of filling out holes in leagues and like team building. Unless you want to go and use Simon and drop and only be able to get him on 2 chemistry rather than 3 chemistry points. As Simon, he's 12,000 coins. He's your only other option, really, for this form of team. And I think Terrier fits a bill, and I think people are frowning upon him, but if you look at it, this man could very well become an 87 rated. Rennes won the first game against Dynamo Kiev 1-0, so that's what he's got, halfway to the 2 wins out of the 3. And then in regards to the group, they're currently they're sat second, tied on 10 points. They've won 3 and drawn the game with Fenerbahce. They beat Kiev already. They've got another game coming up against Fenerbahce, and then it's AEK Larnaca they play, which I imagine they should win. So this man should become an 87 rated squad as well. So for 18k, for a player that's going to go to 87 rated, I think it's pretty good. And then the unlikely star of the show, if you will, and I honestly didn't think when I was starting this I was going to put him in here, but I've packed him and I've used him, and I think I quite like him. But you're going to spend 97,000 coins and pick up Roadbreaker Payet. I didn't see this one coming when I started the video. I knew that I was putting an Artovic in. I knew I was putting in Posh. I knew Bonucci was going to be there. I feel like completing this team for 300k, you've got yourself a solid squad, man. You can compete in FUT Champs with this easily. You can go into rivals and make that climb to Division 1 and Elite easily with a team like this. Yeah, 4-star, 4-star, high medium, right footed. He's got outside foot shot and flair, which is nice. The pace is well rounded. That shooting stat is super well rounded. Passing did get reduced as part of the rule breaker card, and that's a bit of a sore spot for him, I'll be honest. But dribbling outside of that balance is clean. He feels nice in game. The main thing here is, if you're on Next Generation and you put a marksman on him, he becomes lengthy, which is dead nice. If you're not, I think you put an engineer or a hunter on him if you roll a gen and have a laugh. He can play cam, striker, and left wing, which is why you get squad building options for him. But in this case, he's going to be our cam, and that completes the 300k squad. There's not much else to say. Obviously, if you apply position changers to all these guys, every single person gets full chemistry before you even put a manager on. So it doesn't matter which manager you want to go and apply, you'll be sweet regardless. Let me know if you enjoyed the video and if you enjoy like these sort of videos in general, and if you want to see any other squad building videos and you've got a specific budget in mind, please do let me know in the comments down below, and I'll keep that in mind going forward, because I want to make sure that we're doing videos that align with the sort of budget you guys are working with. So obviously we've done it, I think I believe it was 100k, 25k, now 300k. It's always kind of going to be in that price range. Maybe here and there we go for a 750k team, but I understand not everyone has that like free capacity for coins. And it can be kind of tricky to do that in that regard. So, as I say, let me know what you think of the squad in the comments down below. Any budgets you want to see moving forward. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Hit that subscribe button if you're new around here. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you in Thursday's Draft Desires video, guys. Thank you for watching.